This is not a quick speed shop. I got an exciting one for you. I'm going to show you how to backdate your Ford Econoline van from the 80s to the 70s by doing a round headlight conversion using all factory Ford parts. I'm going to show you how I did it right now. I'm a professional. Don't try this at home. Hey, welcome back. I'm back working on the Ford Boogie Van project. What I want to work on today, I think, is doing the conversion from the rectangular headlights to the round headlights. When these vans came out in 1975, they had round headlights, and then in '79 they went to square headlights, and had rectangular headlights, and had rectangular headlights all the way up to '91 to the end. But I want to backdate this thing to the round headlight era. So what I have here. Check it out! Bam! I cut up some old buses in the junkyard. Some big old 76, 7, 78, I think they're 78s. Big Ford buses. That's why they're school bus yellow here. And I've got the round headlight piece here. As you can see here, this is pretty much, the sheet metal is pretty much all the same on these vans, and they just changed the stamping right here with these panels. But there's the round headlight piece, and you can see that it's got the same upper section here and the way it welds on and all that. And then here and the sheet metal, I've been looking at it, has the same lines in it here. They just re-stamped these newer vans, these newer panels. They made a new stamping, but they used the original layout here. They just changed it to go rectangular. So as you can see, the difference is the rectangular headlight is up higher, and then it's got a turn signal hole. On the round headlight front end, the headlight is in the middle, and then the turn signal is down in the valance panel. This is just clearance for the bucket. It actually mounts in the panel that's out here. So what I'm going to do is, I've been looking at this, I'm going to transfer most of this sheet metal over into here. I'm going to drill out the spot welds, take this upper section off, and then drill out the spot welds. And I'm going to leave this lower section attached, but I'm going to be cutting across here, cutting up into here, but drilling out the spot welds here and removing this upper section of sheet metal. And then this upper piece will get welded back on. We'll have the round here, and then I'll cut a rectangle in this piece to have the hole where the marker light goes. You can see on the corner here, it's just got a couple of pieces, and then it's just the core support. I gotta get it free from there, but I'll essentially take this flat piece of sheet metal and have it to transfer over. And then I will do the same thing here. I'll drill out the welds on this section. I'll remove this. I'll drill out the welds here, and then drill out the welds here on the core support. Then I'm going to make a cut above this panel across here, and I'll remove this upper section and then weld in this older section here, and then cut out the hole down below. I've also got some rust repair to do. I've got the little spot here, and on the other side I've actually got to cut it here and replace this whole section with the one out of another van. I would just replace this entire panel if I had a good one, but all the ones I could find in the junkyard are all rotted out here, and the other one, actually, it's rusted way up into here, so that's why I'm doing the cut along here. If I had pieces from out of state or down south where it wasn't rusted out, I would just change this entire panel. But I've got to work with what I got. This is what all I could find is some pieces, and luckily they stay pretty good up top and they just rust on the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to start by, I'm going to take this piece off first just because it's easy to get at, and I was able to drill it. So I drilled some spot welds. There's 2 spot welds here. There's 2 on the side. There's 3 down the front. And then the bottom of this just kind of floats over the lower panel. So I used a 5/16 drill bit just because the spot welds are small. And you don't want to drill all the way through your second panel, because when you go to re-weld through this panel, you want some meat to weld onto. But I've drilled into it a ways. I'm going to take a real fine chisel. I'm just going to start working this. See if I can get these welds to pop, and then I can remove this panel. I might have to drill a little bit more, but let me get my hammer and my fine chisel. Actually, and I'm just going to start working this. If I had a putty knife, that might be better. I'm just going to start working this panel. See if I can get it to pop. Not yet. So I'm going to guess I got to drill deeper. I've also removed the center core support here that just bolts on. And want to get this apart without destroying it. I got to do some more drilling. Drill these a little bit deeper. Make special spot weld cutters for this, which I don't have. The other video I used the Rotobroach drill bit tool, but that makes kind of a big hole. So let me try to just work it this way. Now work it. Here we go. Okay, see how that popped free there? Is there any down here? I thought it was just... Oh. Yeah. Alright, got one there. Got one there. Okay, they did put some more through here. So I gotta do some more drilling. Let me, you see the process now. I just drill and pop it free. I gotta drill some more across the front here, and then I'll get this thing all removed, and we'll be on to the next panel. Okay, whittled down my round headlight panel. I've drilled out the same way here. I've removed the top section, the side piece. Then I cut the bottom of it off where it's going to be, you know, the original panel is going to remain in the bottom. So just let me show you an eyeball here. We'll hold this up and look. Oh, screws are fighting me, but you can see here how it's going to look. The rectangular headlight was high, the round headlight's in the middle. So that was there. And I left it a little bit long in the bottom because I think I'm going to overhang this lower edge and just spot weld this here. And then it'll be down about where this hole is, and then spot weld here. Just make it easier instead of doing a long butt weld. So I cut it a little bit long. So what I want to do now is I'm going to cut this a little long as well up into here. Cut it right off with a cutoff wheel. And then I've drilled all my spot welds, and I just got to start working the panel. It's loose. You can see this here, it's loose up here. I just got to start working it. Cut this first, and then I can start slowly popping this thing free. Oops, I got a bolt here I got to take out. It's for the washer squirter bottle. And I can take the panel off, and then I can set the new one in. I'm not going to weld it on right in this video. Here, you can see it's rusty. I've got to take this down to the blasting cabinet and blast all the rust off it. And then I can weld it in there. But I'll hang it up here and I'll get it attached. Actually, I can use some of the existing bolt holes. I can use that to hold it together temporarily, get it tacked on, and some sheet metal screws. But we'll get it mocked up and set the grill on there and see how the grill looks. And here we go. It's almost ready to come off here. Down to my last spot weld, which I'm working on right now. Structure gets a little floppy when you take it all apart, but it's, ah! Look at that! Bam! Yep, there we go. Alright, look at that. Just wanted to roughly hammer that back in shape. Now we can take our headlight piece. It should lay right back. Should lay right back in place. That goes there. I might have to notch it a little bit. But I left the this lower square hole. I used that as an indicator, so I knew where exactly to lay it over. And I've just got to trim my edge here so it'll fit over there. I can do that. But this is going to go on just like this. Roughly. Right there, look at that. Round headlight installation complete. Paint it black, hit the track, let's go. Well, got a little bit of work to do. So this is looking good. It'll just weld right back on. So I'm going to take the dolly and hammer and straighten all my edges out, and then get a couple of zip screws right through where it's going to weld on. I'll just tag it in place after I do a little bit of trimming to make sure it's going to fit all the way here. I got a couple of dimples that are in the new piece that aren't in this other piece that I got to work with, but I'll be able to get it zipped into place, and then the round headlight install will be on there. So let me do some trimming and fitting. We'll come back and we'll check it out and see how it looks. Probably maybe hold the put a couple screws in it, and I can put this upper piece on. Then maybe we can hold the grill up in place and see how the grill fits. All right, bam! Check this out. We're going from square headlights to round headlights. I put a couple of sheet metal screws in there, and I got the top piece bolted on with the header bolt panels and a fender bolt and clamped into place. Everything looks like it's lining up good. It's fitting perfectly. Let me grab the grill, we'll throw it on and see what it looks like. I think it's going to be glorious. Bam. Now this grill is a little twisted and banged up, not too bad. It's got a little, came out of a van that was wrecked, so it's got some stress cracks in it and a little bit of twist on the top bar. Whoop. But I think it'll work to show us what we're looking at here, if it doesn't fall off. It'll fall off. Alright, bam, look at that. Now this is just a little high here. This piece, when it clamps down, will flatten this out, and it'll center up the headlight. So that's about an eighth inch or so high. That's because it's got just a little bit of stress in it. When I weld it down, it'll be perfect. But look at that. You got the round headlight grill on there. Now I cut the bottom of the piece off here because I can use this as a template. Line it up to the holes here, and then I'll cut the rectangle in here for the marker light. So I got that for a template. So you can see the difference, how the headlight's lower because the grill is centered in the opening versus the rectangular headlight, which had the turn signal mounted underneath it in the stock grill. So you can really see the difference. It'll lower the headlights a little bit. But I love the look of these 75 to 78 vans with the round headlights. They're really, in the marker lights down here, it's really the best look on these vans. I mean, most people are used to seeing them with the rectangular lights because they made them 79 to 91. You know, that's the ones you see on the road most often now. But I love the early ones, and I always get excited when I see one. And this van is going to be round headlight action. I love it. It looks great. Bam! This is working out gangbusters here. So the next step is to cut the turn signal clearance hole here. As you can see in this panel here, they stamped it in and they rolled the edge around. But since this is just flat sheet metal, I'm just going to have to cut it out, and it's just going to be a sharp edge hole and no fancy stamp around. But I held this up, I cut this off specifically and saved it. So I've held it up here, I've lined up my holes in these slots here for these screw holes for the lower grill mounts. I lined it up with the edge, and I traced it with a pencil, traced it around in there. Now I've got a hole saw somewhere over here. I got a hole saw the corners. That'll give me the circle corners I need. And then I'll take the cutoff wheel. I'll just cut in between them. And we should have the cutout for the marker light. So let's try it. I think my center drill is a little wobbly on this, so it's gonna kind of be a little goofy, but close enough. It's not real critical. pretty good. Well, you get the idea. I'm going to take it, I'm going to hole saw all 4 of these out, and then I'll take the cutoff wheel and just cut this out here around it. And then we'll have the one side complete. I do have to do a little bit of rust repair here. I got to drill out a couple spot welds. I'm going to cut this lower section out, replace the piece behind it, then just weld a new piece in here. And that'll be pretty much wrapped up. But it looks like this is all, it's going to work out good. I'm not going to get, in this video, I'm not going to sandblast it and get it welded on in this video because I don't have time now and want to get the video out. But you see the process, you see how I replace this by drilling the spot welds out and putting the panel in, and I'm going to drill this down here and plug weld this piece down here across the bottom, then just clean up these holes, hammer and die them perfectly flat after I sandblast it, and just re-weld through all these spot weld holes and weld this back together. And then the same thing on the other side, it's pretty much going to be the same idea, and that will do the round headlight conversion for having the round headlight grill in this van. Okay, so I got my 4 holes drilled here with a hole saw. I just got to cut them out. It's getting late though, and I just got an emergency call from my work. I got to go in there and we got to figure out some stuff, so I'm not going to be able to get this any farther for now, and I'm not going to be able to get back on this for a couple days, so I think I'm going to have to move on here for now for this video. Well, the next time I work on this van, or the next video, whatever it is, I should pretty much probably have most of this done, at least on this side, and have the other side in. It might not be sandblasted or welded, but you'll be getting an idea what it looks like. And then I'll be jumping back on the floor of the van because I got the floor panel in here. Let me show you. Last time I was working on the floor braces, and I broke down, I ordered a floor panel for 40 bucks, which was a good deal. Here, I'll show you what it looks like. So I ordered this big floor pan, and I got it through Summit Racing, but it's the whole, all the way to the center. It's for the old style van. It's got the indentation where when these things had 3 speeds on the floor in them. That was an option, or 4-speed, I mean, on the floor. That was an option, and there's the hole for that, but it's a generic piece for all these. So it spans way past my new brace all the way around. It's got the lip for the tunnel for the doghouse. Then it goes over here and it picks up my dorsal piece. So I'll be jumping back on this as soon as I get the headlights done. Or in the meantime, while I'm waiting to sandblast them, I'll get back working on the floor. But I just wanted to show you, last time I was going to make my own floor over here, and then I decided to buy this because it was $40. I mean, that's half the sheet metal is worth that. So I've got that piece in. It's got all the compound curves and everything. It'll be a lot easier to make. So that's ready to go in, so I can pretty much piece most of the floor back together, and that's it's going to be a good step on the inside there. So that's it with that. But I'll leave it here for now. I mean, like, Rome wasn't built in a day, and I made some pretty good progress with this today. Drilling all these spot welds out. It actually took quite a while to drill all the welds out and work them and not damage the metal. I didn't, I condensed it way down, but I've got probably about 8 hours just in getting this lined up here and getting this headlight fitted in and get the panel fit where it's got to be. So it's time consuming to do this stuff. You get a lot of hours wrapped up in something simple, just as switching the headlights over. It's a lot of work to do all this. Plus the work I had in the junkyard to disassemble the front end of the vans and cut them all out with the Sawzall and like by hand tools and stuff. I got a couple hours in getting these panels out of the vans that were in the junkyard. So a lot of time invested in switching something over to the round headlights. But I love the look. It's the look I want to go with. It makes the old van. I love the look of the first generation of the new style van, and so it's worth it in the long run. Just a lot of hours. So that's it. That's a video of how you create your 70s style van with your 80s style van by swapping out the rectangular headlights for round headlights using all factory Ford parts. It goes together pretty easy if you worked on any cars and know how sheet metal and spot welds work. It's pretty straightforward. And then just a little bit of cutting down here and some trimming, and I should have custom 70s van action on my 88 Ford Econoline. So I hope you enjoyed this one. It's pretty interesting. This is the first time I've ever done this, and it turned out good, so I'm happy with that. And next time we'll keep plugging away at the old boogie van here, and hopefully in the spring we'll be on the road for some boogie van cruising action. So in the meantime, thanks for watching. We'll see you again at the Quick Speed Shop.